Alright folks, this one's going to be a rather long video. Someone specifically asked me for a butterfly knife video. Yeah, I don't know that I have enough content for a butterfly knife specific video, and I think the overall concept of the different types of knives will make a longer video and explain why the butterfly knife, like why that's important, okay? So, as we know, Filipinos were blade fighters. They fought with machetes against the Spanish. Spanish had guns. Spanish took them out. So the concept of the stick fighting, the knife fighting, came from what used to be the machete fighting, passed down father to son until within the past, from like, you know, we're talking back in, from Christopher Columbus, father to son, all the way till about maybe the last 20 years has it actually become something that was taught to groups. Okay, so it's not this, so these things have come down, everybody has their own style. But the knife, okay, and the reason for the butterfly knife was the swords, they would get killed if they had the swords. So they had to put wood around them to hide them, to make them like a stick. Well, to get them open quickly, they had like these big long ones, right? Like this long. And they would open the wood, right? And the blade would be inside, right? And then they would flip it around, okay? And now they would have a sword, okay? So we will get to why this, but you fundamentally have to understand the reason for the knife, the different types of knives, and why this is going to work. So if you just want butterfly knife, go ahead and fast forward to the end, but we're going to go through some concepts first. First is, this is a paring knife from my actual kitchen. You know, carve apples with it. With the knife, okay, even though the sword, okay, has this big slashing motion, right, the knife is easy to conceal. Like, do you see this knife right now? No. Can I hide a sword behind my back? No. Can I hide this knife right in front of you? I mean, except maybe right there, you can't see this knife, okay? And the thing about the knife, before you start using it, is to understand you don't need big slashing, you know, I'm a big guy, I don't need to go like this. What you want to do is, okay, is to take these small bites, okay? We've already, I mean, if you look at my arm, you can see, actually let me get the lighting, you can see where I'm still bruised from when Brenda hit me for the demonstration of injury. I told her to hit me, I told her to bruise me. You can still see that, okay? So it doesn't take a lot, especially because the knife is sharp, okay, to get a tendon, a tendon, an artery, a nerve, okay? Here's your funny bone. These muscles here control how you grip. If you cut somebody back here, it's going to hurt, but they can still close their hand, okay? So, and if I also, and I'm using headset for a reason, also, if I use these big telegraphing movements for such a small knife, it's not going to do anything. I don't need to wind up. I need to take a small bite, right? So, when we talked about the swords, angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and angle 5. But here, everything just needs to be in this small box, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that's the concept of the knife. Easy to conceal. They should feel it before they see it, okay? You don't want to whip out a knife and say, oh, hey, You know, you want it behind you because they're going to be more, it's going to be harder to deal with and they're going to be more scared. A knife fight should last 4 seconds, 4 to 5 seconds. It shouldn't be a long drawn out fencing match. It should be, crap, I either got cut or I got stabbed and I don't want to do this anymore. So, everything I'm going to show you about these other knives that I'm showing you today can be used with the simplest of paring blades. Okay? Alright? So when you grip a knife, you want to use what's called a fencer's grip. If I do this, you know, and I don't really get a lot of control. Okay? Whereas this, I can be more precise. Okay? More precise, more precise. And then when I stab, I want to use my finger to stabilize the blade, right? I'm putting my finger on the flat of the blade so I don't cut my finger, right? So, if I go like this, then I go like this, you can see how quick these movements are. Let me turn sideways to make a point. You know, I think those are very quick. And this concept is to be rather close to the person, which is also why it can be a little bit scary, but we'll get to that. Okay? So, 2 grips to the knife. The fencer's grip and the reverse grip. Now, in movies, you may hear, oh, if he grips it this way, that means he really knows how to fight. No, it's the way he picked it up. It's the way he pulled it out. Now, you should know how to attack, okay, based on which grip you're using, right? So if I go here, or I go here, or I go here, I should know how to attack, okay? But doing this doesn't necessarily mean skill. In fact, you know, there's, in some true crime, and no offense to ladies, to get more force, they downward stab, right? But I don't want to wing it from way out here because that is very easy to block, okay? And if I do get cut, it's on the back side of my hand, right? So when it comes down, all I gotta do is a simple hit to the face, get up under here. I may get stabbed on the back of the hand or cut on the back of the hand, but like we described earlier, I can still grip, okay? All the veins are here. That's a slow bleed. It hurts, but it's probably not life-threatening. The arteries on the inside of my arm, right? These tendons get cut, I can't grip anymore. These muscles get cut, I can't grip anymore. And these arteries get cut, I'm going to bleed much faster, okay? So, I want to make sure we understand that. So, that is the purpose of using the knife. Also, this is much more commonly available, and most people can carry a simple pocket knife without catching a weapons charge. Again, I'm not a lawyer. Different things. So, all these different knives I'm going to show you function the same as this. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I'm going to give you some options. Okay? So, let's start with this knife, a pocket knife. Now, the reason that a folder is not liked for self-defense is because there's some wiggle here, okay? If you don't take care of your knife well, this can go like this, right? And at the end of the day, even though there is a lock and a release, there's always a chance that it could slip. It may be a very small chance, like a 0.5% chance, especially depending on the quality of the knife, but there is always a chance, okay? All right? So, all of the knives I'm going to show you, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, have a way to get it open quicker. So we're going to start with probably the most legal of the bunch, okay? This is called a flipper. Now, the reason it works like that, do you see that notch? That makes it easier to open. Now, at a decent speed, I can flip it. All right? So, if I pull it from my pocket and I'm like, hey man, no, we don't gotta do this, it was that simple, that quick. Especially if I have it down. Okay? So, hey man, no, I don't want to do this, and now I'm ready to do what I need to do. Okay? So that's knife number one. This knife, okay, probably illegal. Probably, if I got caught with it, probably gonna catch a charge. But this is a simple switchblade. So this is a lock. This smaller button is a lock, makes it so I can't open it. The push button, see, I didn't have to flip. It's spring loaded. I only had to push this button. So, again, hey man, I don't want this. There, I'm good to go. Okay. Now, the function of this knife, okay, the quick open function, as you can see, is the Emerson Wave. And when I show you the knife I carry, we're going to get to it, okay? But this allows me to catch on my close and open it. So, ideally, wherever I'm carrying it, okay, sorry about my belly, wherever I'm carrying it, just to show the motion, hopefully I'm not telegraphing this much, but just to show the motion. Ah, fuck. Okay, I'll stabilize it, because this is a cheapo. Okay, it opened. But this is just my trainer. It's more for the shape than it is for the actual wave. But if I do it on my shirt, you can see. So, this is a karambit, okay? This is a very specialized knife, which I think is from Indonesia. Now, a lot of Kali has adapted to it, but again, Indonesia, okay? And they weren't folders, they were straight blades. The curve, okay, gives me more leverage here. The ring is for retention. If you hit like that and I go like this, the knife hasn't left my hand, okay? That's what that's for. Now, that was the intended function. Another function because of that is that I can increase my range, right, by going like this. This is called the flail. And if you see in my other videos, I do an instruction on the flail and how effective that is, right? So, this is also gives me the option of concealing, and I can hit with it closed, right? Without it falling out, right? Now, to be fair, I can hit with this closed, but if I lose my grip, it's going to fall out of my hand. Whereas if I lose my grip with this, right, it's not going to fall out of my hand, okay? But you're saying, Justin, how do I learn how to fight with this? It's the same as this. The movements are the same, okay? The only thing that you're giving up is maybe a stab. Like if you stab straight down, it's not going to because of the curve. You might have to hook a little bit more. But the movement is the same. Your locking movements from the reverse blade, your slicing is the same. Just maybe when you stab on this curve, if this isn't a double bladed, because military ones, or like fighting ones from Indonesia, have blades on both sides, right? Most of the ones that you can buy only have the back blade, especially the ones you can get away with. Or I'm sorry, you only have the front blade. This is dull. So this is more for hooking or impact. Okay? So that's the Emerson Wave opening karambit. Now, the wave is called the Emerson Wave. This knife is not made by anybody special. This is just to train. so I don't cut somebody when I'm training. Okay? Now, we're going to get to butterfly knives. If you look up PTK, which is Pikiti Tertia Kalihi, or even kids who aren't trained in Kalihi, they get one of these and they practice. Lots of amazing tricks that use a lot of manual dexterity. Okay? And I'm not going to deny that. But how functional most of those tricks are, especially in a fight or flight situation, I don't know. That's probably mostly up to the user. But especially even my guru, the guy who taught me how to use this, said those tricks really don't matter if you can't hurt somebody with them. So here is the butterfly knife lesson. So this here is a butterfly knife. Okay? The side that has this little dangly bit, let me put it up close, is always going to be the side that has the blade. See, these holes represent the blade. Now this is blunt, so I can't cut myself with it. Now I have used live blades, but I'm not going to do it for this instruction. That's the side that the blade is on. Okay. So here's where it gets kind of detailed. So now that I know where the flipper is, I know that if I go like this, the handle is going to hit my hand. So I'm safe at this point, right? Now, to get the other handle and do it quickly, I have to go like this. Now, if this was the blade, right? If this was the blade, this would cut my fingers, okay? And then my hand would probably be unusable. Anybody who's gotten a paper cut and wants to put hands in their pockets knows how much that sucks, right? So, the next thing I'm going to do is just twist my fingers. So, let's go take it step by step. Open, twist, back hit, catch handle. Okay? That is how easy it is. Let's go slow. Okay? There. There. Okay? So there. There. Okay, so if I come back from here, I'm flipping to here. Okay? And now, fencer's grip, I can do everything I was doing with the simple paring knife. So one more time. Okay? Handle, my knuckles are safe. Flip, this is the back of the blade. Knuckles are safe. Handle, and now I'm ready to fight. Okay? So, that's one way. Another way is the face flick. So, the face flick is I go like this, okay? Now notice, it's just the same as before. This position we were already in, the face flick, right? Now, the thing about this is, it's kind of hard to see, but I'll try, is that little knob there is what keeps the arm from going too far, okay? I'll try to get the lighting right. The knob is what keeps this blade from going too far. So, when I do the face flick, okay, and I put my thumb behind this is stable, okay? Now, it does sting a little on the tip of the thumb, but the metal knob is taking most of that force. And you gotta figure, this is blunt. So because my hand isn't giving, that's where the pain is coming from. If it's sharp, it's just gonna pierce, and I'm probably not gonna get that much pain on my thumb. Let's put it this way, at least not enough to stop me from fighting. So, again, we are just doing a vertical, so this is vertical, right? We are just doing more of a horizontal of what we did before. Okay? Now, another thing here is this. See? I'm just letting it hang. All I'm doing is just letting this hang. Now if I twist this over, it's now back in stabbing, and I can grab it here. So, if I do this from a standing position, okay, you can see I'm falling and picking up. Let me go slow. Falling, twisting slightly, picking it up or doing the stab position we talked about. So, again, it takes some practice, but it's that simple. Okay? Again. Okay. The part that gets people cut when they use sharp ones of these is typically that they don't know where the blade is. Because they're not watching this, they don't know where the blade is. And quite frankly, if I had a butterfly knife that didn't have this, I probably wouldn't use it. A, because the safety keeps it from coming undone in your pocket. So when it's like this, you can't open it, right? But it also tells me where the blade is, right? Because there's the hangy, there's the blade. And typically, the reason for this is speed, okay? It's to get the weapon out before somebody else does. So, because quite simply, if I have to reach in my pocket, go like this, okay, and then hold on, let me get my, it's too long. But if I do this, I'm good to go, okay? And I can do this behind my back because I've practiced and I know what to feel, okay? So there is the butterfly lesson. Now, this is the knife I carry. And you will see it's very similar to this. And I'm going to explain. So, this is the knife I carry. If you've watched Forged in Fire, it was designed by Doug Marcaida, made by Fox Knives. If you get, it's kind of hard to see, but there's Doug Marcaida's name under Dart XT. You can look it up. He even has an instructional video of how to fight with it. Okay, Doug Marcaida, Forged in Fire, Kali, God. Okay, I will never be at this man's level. Okay, and the maker is Fox Knives. Again, hard to see, but that's Fox Knives. Okay, so pretty much what makes me able to use this knife is that it's straight. Is it black? Yes, but it's straight. So it's a lot easier for me to explain the straightness than it is for the curve, because the curve looks fighty. Like when you hear assault rifle, it's plastic, it looks scary, but the ballistics, because of what, it depends on what the round is inside of it, doesn't really make much of a difference. I mean, yes, it makes it more cutty, but this definitely looks like it's for fighting. This does not. This looks like a tool. Okay? Another thing I can do to explain this away is that if you look real close, there's this little, I'll put it across my cheek, that little sticker there. Now that little sticker comes on every firefighter EMT's knife. That is to break a window to get somebody out of a burning car, okay? Because all I have to do is go like this, on the window, I pull the guy out, right? If the guy's locked in. There's, every rescue tool for a firefighter has that on there. So, I was a former paramedic, I can explain that away just fine, okay? One of the reasons I like this particular knife is there's this little lever there. Now, even though this is high quality, there's still just a slight amount of give, okay? Even though there's a thumb lock to keep it open, and I have to do that to close it, I can't close it without doing this thumb lock. This, on the back, keeps that thumb lock from going, okay? So this is super stiff. Like, this feels like a fixed blade knife, okay? Now, I have two ways of holding it. When I need it as a tool, or to just say it's a tool, I say, hey, look, just a pocket knife. The ring, isn't that for flailing? No, it's just to make sure my hand doesn't slip. Safety feature, you know? But I can use it like this, and I can flail. See? I can flail, and I can do my reverse stabs, okay? Now, this one, being much higher quality, if this one is in my pocket, and I hope it works, because on camera it's not going to, it's going to make me look like an asshole, but see, okay? Because all I did was hold the ring and catch the Emerson wave on my close, it opened, first try, okay? Even if I'm like, sir, why are we doing this? I don't want to fight. There. Okay? I can catch it on my shirt, or I'm not wearing a sleeve, but if I pull it out of my sleeve, I can also deploy it. So, again, another quick way to open the knife. But, since I was specifically asked for the butterfly knife, because of its speed and it looks cool, I'm doing the lesson. But I want you to remember, all those different options just get it out faster. And if I was carrying this in my pocket, I'd probably get a lot more questions. But it all comes down to the same movements, the same concepts. Cut, cut, stab, stab. Thank you very much.